This is going to be one of our application problems, and this one we're actually going to be solving for P. This is our principal. Now, obviously, I'm not going to tell you on a test or a quiz like, hey, you're solving for this specific piece of information. You have to be able to identify it. So you got to read carefully. So this example says you're going to invest some money into an account. It earns 8% interest and it's compounded quarterly. It says after 4 years, there is $5,000 in the account. So how much money did you actually start with? How much money did you invest? All right. So obviously, I'm going to give you the formula, but you need to be able to identify what you know and what you don't know. All right. So our ending amount is always going to be A, and that's $5,000. The P is our principal amount. That's our starting amount. That's the last question. It says, how much money did you invest? That's what you don't know. You do know your rate. Now remember, your rate is always going to be as a decimal, not a percentage. So you have to divide by 100. Take 8, divide it by 100, you get 0.08. And then our compounds is 4 times per year because it's quarterly, and our time is 4 years. So now what our equation looks like is going to be 5,000 equals P, and then inside parentheses becomes 1 plus our rate, which is 0.08, divided by 4. And we're going to close that parenthesis, and we're going to raise that to the 4 times 4. All right, now what we have to do is do some solving. And that's where this is going to come into play. Right? So as you can see, all I did was I said that we're going to go ahead and raise it to the 16th power. I multiplied 4 times 4. Right? This is what we're going to do. We're going to take 1. We're going to add that 0.08 divided by 4. I want to see what that value actually is. So 5,000 is equal to P. And then that becomes 1.02, and we're going to raise that to the 16th power. Now remember, all we're doing is we're taking a number, 1.02, we're raising it to the 16th power. That's a number. That's a value. And we're going to multiply it to this variable P. So really all we have to do is get rid of this number, 1.02 raised to the 16th. We have to divide that out. But let's figure out what that is first. So this becomes 5,000. And when I raise 1.02 to the 16th power, I get around 1.37. So this is just 1.37 times P. Divide out your 1.37 to both sides, and you're going to figure out what your starting principal amount was. And it is about $3,649.64. And that's how you solve for a principal when given these types of situations.